And we're back.
I can't play that again. I won't.
The best song ever written.
I don't think it's a song, mate. I think it's just a jingle.
Some people say Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody. Some people say John and Paul with any of the Beatles songs might surpass that. But in my opinion, that bit of generic music. Where did you get that from?
It's wonderful. It actually comes with a bit of kit, mate.
Comes with the kit.
It does indeed, yeah.
It's sort of a sample bit.
It's like those theme tunes you get on Nokia that just come with
it. Do you remember that back in the day where you had your Sony Ericsson and you just play the jingles?
Those were the days.
Because there was nothing else to do back then.
Those were the days.
Literally nothing else to do back then.
Anyway, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Now we have a little disclaimer. The first episode was filmed before the dreaded pandemic, and hence we look like absolute dog shit.
What pandemic are you referring to, Ollie?
I can't say it, Tom.
Ebola.
No.
AIDS.
No, it's a serious topic, mate. People have died.
Yeah.
Just like the other 2 pandemics you were talking about.
Yeah.
But, it is serious.
I matched with a girl who worked for the NHS, and my opening statement was, "You're an absolute legend." And it took me places, so little tip for you there.
I'm pleased. I'm happy for you.
But
Love stories in the making.
Something like that. So the wine this week is slightly different. We're going for a budget episode, which is not my thought.
Well, it happened. Wow. Let's put a bit of context on this. So I bought the bottle of wine week 2 of lockdown. And I'm sure, as everyone else was, a bit strapped for money, I decided to get some budget wine. And what is it, please? What is it?
I'm glad you asked. It's a Myton Hill, and it's literally called Juicy Red. So that's how you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a good wine on your hands, if they don't have any French words, basically, if it's called Juicy Red, you're in trouble. Another good eye-opener is if it doesn't have any kind of conclave, is that the right word?
Is it concave? I don't know, something like that.
Basically, if it doesn't have a hole in the bottom you can stick your finger in somewhat. If it's a flat bottom, then
notoriously the worst.
Don't drink that.
No.
That rotten.
The deeper you can finger it, the best it is, essentially.
If it's flat on the bottom, it's rotten. Is the famous rhyme as it goes.
We should really just begin to
crack
understand how the process of wine is actually made.
I mean, you can take this journey with us. So if it's a screw cap,
budget,
put it back in that backpack, as the other famous saying goes.
Fantastic. Well, it certainly looks nice anyway.
It looks red, which is
all
positive.
Reds do. Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Can't wait to drink this balsamic vinegar. I mean, I'm disrespecting Myton Hill. I haven't even tried it, so I do apologise.
I do as well, mate.
Let's let it breathe.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The budget wine, which was actually £3.50 from Waitrose, if you're interested. Sorry, Morrisons. Waitrose is a bit upmarket.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I did.
£3.50 wine at Waitrose. Yeah, you could be onto something.
I didn't. I'm nothing against Morrisons, but I was on a budget and I had to go in there.
Nothing against Morrisons.
Anyway,
but they are inferior to Waitrose.
Chin chin.
Chin chin. I'll tell you what.
It's actually not bad.
That's actually not bad.
That
is actually.
I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't.
That's really not that bad.
$3.50, mate. I just want to sink that in for a second. For everyone who's watching, £3.50.
Honestly, he's letting it sink in because you obviously haven't tasted it yet. But head over to Morrisons right now, buy a Myton Hill Juicy Red, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll tell you what, over the course of Corona, I've ordered a lot of majestic wine deliveries.
Stop shouting out Majestic. They haven't sponsored us yet.
Yeah, but
We are open to it.
Majestic, give us free booze. And basically, sometimes it's a bit like a Tesco order. You get substitutes if they don't have in stock the wine you want. And a few of their substitutes for some decent wines, because obviously I only pick decent wines, have been absolutely atrocious, and they taste like vinegar with grapes in it.
Excuse me.
Whereas this, for £3.50,
Juicy red, baby.
it tastes like a juicy red.
Ooh, baby. Ah,
Absolutely juicy. That is actually very nice
It is.
for a £3.50.
what flavours you tasting?
Maybe
It's actually got good flavour to it.
Yeah.
It's got a decent flavour to it.
actually
It's not. I'll tell you what I was expecting. A very sharp shot down the throat.
yeah. I was feeling an afterburn, which you don't get with this. It's actually quite smooth down the palate. I mean, it is only 12%, so you would hope it wouldn't be too sharp. But yeah, obviously Spain's always quite a safe bet with reds. They seem to know what they're doing. Spain and southern France. Something goes on at that little border there where they really hit the nail on the head.
They start to do things, don't they? The Los Rons, mate. That's what they're
The
doing.
Los Rons.
I think that's what happens. They get involved.
Little shout out to the Los Rons here if you're watching. Me and Ollie were camper vanning through southern France.
Camper vanning? Motorhoming? Come
Motorhoming,
on.
sorry. With a couple of friends through the south of Spain. Through just the south of Spain, actually, I think, is their territory. So the Los Rons seem to have graffitied a number of derelict buildings in the outskirts of Malaga, so a southern city in Spain. And I mean, I have to admit, you don't expect a gang to go with the name Los Rons.
No.
I mean no disrespect by this, but
No.
I think they don't realise that in a lot of Western culture that Ron is quite a... When you say Ron, you picture someone in his 40s with glasses.
Big Ron.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You actually chose to buy this.
I did. I really did. I was... Tom, I wanted the second episode to be... Well, even before lockdown, I wanted it to be aimed towards students or people that are on a budget, just to enjoy, the grapes that are out there.
Yeah,
and
there's no denying that there are people who like the finer things in life, but may not necessarily have the funds to achieve what they want. And
absolutely,
I think Myton Hill, you put this in a decanter, no one's going to know that it's a budget wine from Morrisons. Obviously, you're going to need to have a decanter first. I'm sure if Ollie could share a link in the description of cheap decanters online.
I'll try it. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'll give it a go. None of this crystal shit for you guys. We're looking out for you.
Only professionals can tell the difference between crystal and glass. Obviously, a glass decanter's still going to cost you something, but we'll check it out, the link in the description.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see how much exactly.
I think in the coming weeks we'll have to do that. We'll have to try and purchase, or hopefully from Majestic get given some decanters to try out for you guys.
Agreed. Majestic, get on that. What I was going to say is that I've never really drunk wine out of a decanter, I don't think.
Have you not?
No.
Every Christmas time, mate, for us.
Is it?
Yeah, nice family tradition. Get it in the old decanter at Christmas.
How does it taste differently to out of the bottle?
Well, I'll be honest, mate.
Please.
When it's that nice, I think you could drink it out of a plastic cup.
And it'd be good.
And it would be delicious.
The decanter is meant to mimic the effects of swirling the wine glass to stimulate the oxidization process, which triggers the release of more aromatic compounds.
Beautiful.
So the way these, for lack of a better term, snobs view it is that when it's in this bottle, the atoms start to sit still and then not release as much goodness. Whereas
the juiciness, pure grapes.
You've seen them all before, and they're in the restaurant. They swirl it around, they give it a whiff, and while they're swirling, that's meant to make the atoms busier.
And can I be honest? A lot of these folks don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. I mean, they're just doing it for fun.
No wine connoisseur knows what he's doing. Right? I missed them, Mike. I had a couple. But I'm going off on a tangent here, but I did a wine tasting with my parents in France and a few of their friends.
Thanks for the invite.
And you weren't invited. And we put it in plastic glasses, some quite expensive wine, all the way down to stuff like this. And we got them to rate it without knowing what the wine, where it was sourced from, in most expensive order. And I kid you not, no one got it right. No one got it that the most expensive was the taste. Like, it's bullshit, guys. It's complete and utter bullshit. If it tastes nice, buy it and drink it.
So basically, get down to Morrisons, get your 350 out and buy it.
Honestly, this is as nice as some £15, £10 wines I've tasted.
Shit's all over last
We could
episode,
pretty much
mate.
cancel all the future episodes just on this because it's all.
Save us an awful amount of money, mate.
We're not spending it.
Are we not?
Well,
we get
I'm
it for
not.
free, or?
You are.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers for that. Milton Hill, Juicy Red. Are you sure it was Morrisons?
Of course, absolutely, 100% nailed on.
£3.50. Possibly Spanish, possibly English. Who knows? The label isn't particularly clear.
It's dodgy, mate. I'll be honest. It's dodgy.
But I'll tell you what isn't dodgy. The taste.
Well done.
Thank you. Would you agree?
I would agree. You can't go wrong, mate. Honestly.
So that brings me to my next point, which is obviously we're called Pure Grapes. We rate wine. We love wine, even though clearly we know much more than the average wine connoisseur who's based in the south of France or in Napa Valley. Even though I think in Napa Valley they do mainly white wine, not that.
Peasants.
We'll do a white wine.
We will, because I actually do like white wine.
Yeah, me too. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we'll have a rating system. So you know when you see a wine, you think, oh, I can think of Tom and Olly's rating system. Then I know what to expect from this wine when I uncork it, unscrew it, pop it. What's another way to open it? Smash it, inject it into my eyeball.
Yeah, just do it, mate.
I know what I'm going to get. So the rating we're going to go with is, on a typical grapevine, you get 40 clusters of grape. A typical grape cluster is what you see in all the movies, whatnot, when they're picking and fluing. Insert a picture here.
So how many grapes from a cluster? Sorry, Tom.
So typically on a grape cluster, you get something between 70 and 100.
Yeah.
But we're going too much into maths. I don't know about you.
No, we're easy here.
I know
Pure
about
grapes,
you that you didn't like maths.
We're
but
just easy.
I personally once liked maths, had a terrible maths teacher called Mr. Berg who ruined it for me. Thanks, Mr. Berg.
Jesus, mate.
Yeah, I've never forgiven him. He called
Fair
me a
play.
garden gnome once, but that's another story. So what we're going to go with is clusters. So on a grapevine, you get up to 40 clusters. So our rating is going to be out of 40. If you get the full 40, then you're a full grapevine. I mean, that's like a 10 out of 10. That's perfection.
That's hard, to be honest, I
You
think.
don't get that.
But for me, it's hard.
In the real world, let's be honest, perfection doesn't exist.
No.
So what I'm going to do is start this off. Obviously, we didn't rate the first wine I did out of this. We know Ollie didn't like it. We know I did like it.
Hated it. Why, me, if you're watching, fuck off.
So what I'm going to do, just to sort of set the benchmark, is off of the back of that, is we're going to rate this one. We're going to cast back our memory to pre-Rona and rate Waimea as well. So we'll rate this one. Oh, if you'd like to start. How many clusters out of 40?
I'll give it a 28.
28?
For a £3.50 bottle of wine.
That is a...
That's not bad.
Let's see those digits on the screen. That's 28 clusters out of a full grapevine. Which
What would you say, mate?
for Myton Hill,
It's above average.
Oh,
It's
100%
above
spot.
half. Definitely above half.
it's a solid 25 grapes out of 40. So,
I'll stick that right there for you.
so well done to Myton Hill for being above average for £3.50. We can't
You can't actually knock
stress enough
you can't knock it.
how I'll be surprised if any wines this cheap will get anywhere close to that in our future
Not a
episodes.
chance, mate. Not a chance.
So well done, Myton Hill. Keep up the good work. Ollie, if you'd like to just grab the bottle of Waimea just so we could refresh our memories just by looking at it, so we can backdate the review for this. Please bear with.
I'd love to.
There it is. Yes, Ollie does not clean his humble abode, and he keeps dirty, empty bottles of wine around.
Just lovely.
So Waimea, just to refresh I mean, your memories don't need refreshing because you're obviously watching these videos back to back.
Fucking snakes.
But for mine and Ollie's own memory, it was a New Zealand wine, ripe blackberry, lavender, violet aromas combined with subtle hints of mocha, cloves, smoky oak, and an underlying savoury pancetta edge.
Would you? So that was, just to let everyone know, that was a £9.99 bottle.
£9.99. As you can see, it's got the wine orbit 90 plus out of 100, and I believe we went into somewhat of their ratings because how can you have basically it's not out of 40, is it? It's not out of 40 clusters.
Why, mate, you're still shit. I remember you being shit there.
So Ollie remembers you being shit.
I'm going to say 15 because you were a bag of shite, to be fair.
So Ollie's gone for 15 clusters out of 40. I'm going to give you a solid 29 clusters out of 40.
Wow.
You're delicious. Ollie doesn't know what he's talking about. Waimea, send me free wine. So out of the individual totals, Waimea is sitting firmly at the top of mine, and Myton Hill is sitting firmly at the top of Oll's. All right? Obviously, 2 wines in. Anything to play for.
It speaks volumes to me, I think.
Volumes, good word.
Enjoying the much cheaper option as opposed to the Waimea Estates. Apparently, supposedly, anyway, the wine of New Zealand, which I think's an absolute load of bull.
I'd like to point out that my scores were quite within reach of each other.
I know. I'm amazed you gave that 29, mate. To be honest.
Got something else to state?
No.
Okay, that's all we got time for today. I appreciate you tuning in for a second episode, and as we've said previously, this is a weekly wine review. Next week, we're going to go to the more, I'm not going to say pricey, but the more you're going to have to spend.
More mid-range, I'd say.
More mid-range, that's a good way of putting it. We'll try and keep it fresh each week. We'll keep track of the leaders. If you have any comments or wines to recommend or free wines to send,
I'll sling the old. I forgot what I was going to say. Sling the old email address there.
Sling it there. We'll also put a link in the description for cheap decanters online, because we've clearly established on this that they are an important part of a wine connoisseur's diet. But apart from that, Ollie, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, as always. And please, if you have any other questions as well, sling them in the old email address, and we will endeavour to come back to you with some decent answers.
Spell endeavour, go.
END.
No.
Shit, it's an E, isn't it? And on that bombshell, cheers, mate.
Cheers.